Hey, I want to talk to you today about how to be a better husband. Now, I'm not perfect, but I've learned some things over the years and they've helped me, and I'm hoping that maybe they can help you as well. So the first thing that I want to talk about was the book, The 5 Love Languages by Gary Chapman. But the important thing here is understanding how my wife ticks, because her love language, which is quality time, is different than my love language, which is words of affirmation. And so when I understand the way that she feels loved, it helps me on 2 fronts. First off, it helps me because I can understand the actions that I need to take to help her feel more loved. And the second thing is that when I'm doing things that I feel she should be appreciative of and she's not, it helps me to understand why that might be happening. And honestly, it kind of helps me understand too, if I do something that makes her upset, it helps me understand why maybe she's more upset than I think she should be at whatever I did. So I mentioned that my wife's love language is quality time. And one of the things that this makes me think about is the movie The Haunted Mansion. I'm not sure if you've seen it or not, but Eddie Murphy plays a character named Jim Evers, and he's a real estate agent. And one scene in the movie, early on, he's in a restaurant and he's signing the paperwork to sell a house for his clients. They are super excited and they're encouraging him to stay there with him. And he says, no, I have to go, it's my anniversary. And they get excited, they say, oh, have an anniversary drink with us. And he says, no, I can't, I really need to get home. But he ends up staying for an extra drink because they insist. Well, then as he's going to leave, somebody at the bar stops him and says, hey, did we just hear you sold that couple's house? And he said, yes, I did. And he goes to walk out, and they said, because we're looking to buy. And he stops. And you can tell he's taking that moment. He's thinking about what he's gonna do. And if you've seen the movie, you know he turns the smile on, he turns around and says, hi, I'm Jim Evers of Evers & Evers Realty. Now, you don't need to watch the rest of the movie to know what's gonna happen when he gets home. However, when he gets home, he shows a teddy bear that he got for his wife, and he kind of hides behind it, and the teddy bear is wearing a bracelet that's obviously very expensive. He gives it to his wife, and she kind of dismisses it. She says, thanks. And see, now if he would have known that his wife was a quality time person, he would have known that the gift that he gave her would basically be meaningless. What she wanted was him there. And so not only was he not there, but her love language, not only was it not filled, it was depleted, it was overdrawn. And so he had to spend the rest of the movie trying to make up for that. I've experienced the same thing in my life with my wife. If I'm at work and I choose to stay late to get an assignment done, I know that I can't make up that quality time with my wife later. And so I'm going to hope that I have enough deposited into her love account that when I have to make a withdrawal, that it's not going to deplete the account. The second thing that I want to talk about is focus. Now, if you've seen any of my Choices Project videos, you know that focus is something that I consider to be very important, and it's an important choice that we make on a daily basis. And if you've seen any of the other videos, you would know that I say that focus is key on what you're doing. However, you cannot lose focus on the other things that are important. Now, I want to be a great businessman, I want to be a great boss, but I also want to be a great dad and a great husband. Not or. I want to be and a great husband. Now, stay with me here. I didn't promise to cherish and love my wife after work and on the weekends. I promised on our wedding day to love and cherish my wife forever. And I want to do that, and we need to balance our responsibilities. But when I'm at work, if I lose focus on the fact that my wife is at home and she has struggles and things that are going on, what happens is I focus so much on work, I get to the end of the day, and then work says, oh wait, we need you to do this one more thing. And I am very easy at saying, yes, I'll stay late. Yeah, I'll stay late, I'll help get this project done, no problem. And then I get home, and my wife, who sometimes is close to tears, says, I needed your help. Where were you when I needed you? And that's the kind of stuff that just breaks my heart. That's the kind of stuff that I don't want to lose sight of and lose focus on when I'm at work. Because I don't want my wife to feel like I'm just out there trying to earn money at the cost of my relationship with my wife. I want her to know that I love her and I care about her and that I'm thinking about her even when I'm at work. And I can show that by coming home early some days when it's possible. I can do that by over communicating if something's coming up where there's a deadline, so that I can make love deposits of quality time before I get to that time that I have to make that withdrawal. So the last thing that I want to talk about is actually one of the core values at JMC Brands, and that is selfless service. Now, I'm going to take this verse out of context a little bit here, but in 1 Corinthians, there's a verse that says that the wife submits authority over her body to her husband, and the husband submits authority of his body to his wife. Now, as I think about this verse, it's important for me to think about my wife's needs and desires. Because if I'm focused on myself, she feels isolated and alone. But if I'm focusing on her needs and her desires, she feels overwhelmingly loved. She thinks that she's thinking about how much I care about her and how much I love her, so much that I'm willing to not think about myself, but think about her instead. That selfless service goes a very long way. And so to wrap things up, I want to give you a couple of resources. First off, The 5 Love Languages by Gary Chapman is a book. He also has a website. I'd encourage you to check that out and take his free quiz to find out what your love language is if you haven't already. If you've done it before, I'd encourage you to look at it again and see the things that maybe you've forgotten over the years. And in terms of selfless service, I'd like to share with you a book called The Love Dare. If you've ever seen the movie Fireproof with Kirk Cameron, it's based on this book. But it's basically a 30-day challenge on how to love your spouse over that 30 days and show them that they're loved. It can bring a lot of healing, it can bring a lot of closeness, and it was an experience that I went through with my wife, and it was a lot of fun, and she really enjoyed it, and I'm actually thinking of doing it again. So maybe you'll comment below and let me know that you're doing it, and I'll do it with you. But I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll catch you on the next one. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to hit that like button below. It means a lot to us. And be sure to subscribe to get notified when the next video is dropped.